And remember when we made the Star Wars dress with the princess seams? And I mentioned that I needed to work out some fit issues. There are a few patterning things that I plan on tweaking in the future. Well, we're working those out today, and I'm going to finalize this pattern, and it's going to look beautiful. We're going to be doing it with this really fun Friends themed fabric. I made some adjustments. I wanted the princess seams to be even lower than they were on the Star Wars dress. All of those adjustments have been made. I am going to sew everything together on my trusty treadle machine because my modern electric is still out of service. Working these curves on this treadle is going to be fun. Okay, so let's talk about the immediate fitting things that I see based on, like, if we were fitting this to Claire, what would I see as problems, right? First of all, this bust is like way too big, but Claire is not my size. So we're gonna wait until I try to fit this on me to figure out these front bust darts. So far, even though it does look bigger, all of these lines look correct, and it has the shape that I've been looking for and the extra room under the arm's eye. What I don't like is this shape on the back. You can see how it kind of like bubbles here, which is great when you're trying to add fullness, like for a bust in the front, but not so great when you're trying to create like a smooth back. I don't want to take all of it out because I'm going to need some room for like my shoulder blades to move. But I feel like taking this seam out and making that a little bit more shallow of a curve versus like this really steep curve that it has will really be beneficial. That's what it naturally wants to do. I think that's the curve it needs to be. So I'm gonna fix that curve on the back seam, and then I'll baste a zipper in and we'll try it on me, and then we'll decide what else to do. Okay, so this looks like a lot more than it actually is, especially if I cut this with a seam allowance. We're basically only cutting off the seam allowance, but it would definitely shallow the curve. I think I'm gonna cut off the seam allowance and sew one of them in to test the fit. If that works, then I'll do the other one. If not, then I only have to unpick one seam to follow this line exactly. Okay, so we can already see just how much smoother that is. It needs clipped and a good press, but it's already smoother. It still has the room back here for the shoulder blade movement, which is what we want, but it doesn't look like I'm trying to give it fullness like you would for the bust. I love it when my alterations work. Okay, so I'm gonna sew the other side and then figure it out from there. I still don't know what sleeve I want to put on this. I need to figure that out. This is the messiest zipper I have put in like years, but you know, it's just basted, it'll do. Okay, so let's talk about the fit of this bodice. The front is like fantastic. Once it has a little bit of tension on it, like this, I don't think I could ask for like better fitting seams. It just looks so good. The side seam hits a little bit past where I want the side seam to hit, so I'm gonna have to readjust this. That's okay, I drafted everything just a little bit big. These seams hit where I want, these seams don't, so I'm gonna have to adjust this. But the back, let me move my hair, is also big. So I'm gonna have to take that much out, but some of that will come out of here. So I have a pin in where I want that, because I'm probably gonna have to take that side back piece too. That hits just about where I want, but I want that straight up and down, so we're gonna have to put a pin in here to get that fit. Let's leave a little bit of ease, shall we? Cool, so I think that's where I want everything to fit in shape. Are you saying hi, Joe? No? Okay. That'll do. So, just a little bit, probably just like a seam allowance worth on these two seams. That's easy enough. Okay. So, I have spent the morning taking apart the bodice and making a paper pattern so that way I can make the gridded pattern for you guys, which I'll make sure that there's a link to down in the description so that way it's available when this video comes out. Okay, so if I keep like touching my chin, it's because I was really aggressively brushing my teeth the other day and I hit my gums and like that little piece of skin that like connects your lip to your gums. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm pretty sure that's bruised and it really hurts to talk. Anyway, if I keep touching my chin, that's why. So the bodice was just all basted together, so I need to actually sew it together now, which means that I need to rewind a bobbin. The bobbin winder on my treadle machine doesn't work. I have ordered the part. It should be here next week, but I don't have time to wait until next week to get a bobbin. I still have my modern electric and I think I can still wind a bobbin on it. If not, I have remembered that there is a machine in my garage and we'll see how that works. This really hurts. Okay, I need to stop talking. We'll probably do voiceover from here on out because this hurts. I think I'm gonna try to sew this bodice with French seams. It's not something I normally do. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna sew like one of the princess seams and see if it's actually feasible. If not, then I'll, you know, just do my normal thing and probably not finish the seams. Anyway, French seams. Okay, so that was probably the easiest French seam I have ever done. It looks so nice and clean. It'll need a good press, of course. I think I'm gonna continue this for the rest of the project. So, I'll put you guys on time-lapse mode. Gonna crank out this bodice. I really want to get this dress done today, so we're just gonna keep going. So all of the seams are done and the facing is on the neckline. I am now trying to figure out what sleeve I want on this. So do I want a tulip sleeve like what I have on my Star Wars dress and just make these identical dresses? Or do I put a puff sleeve on? I think I'm leaning more towards a puff sleeve. I am running out of steam. I've been pushing too hard this week. If I'm running out of steam already, it could just be time for my nap. Yeah, it's about nap time. I'm gonna cut out the sleeve before I take a nap, and then we will go from there. Okay, so I had the smart idea of cutting out the skirt before making a final decision and cutting out the sleeves. I am so glad I did because I don't have enough material for big puffy sleeves. I'll figure something else out. We will probably do a variation of a tulip sleeve, kind of warming up to that idea. I have the skirt panels sewn together, so now I just need to attach it to the bodice. I mean, I guess I can wrangle the whole dress around when I do the sleeves because I still want to put some thought into that, but I want to keep working, so yeah. Moving on. Attaching the skirt to the bodice. Okay, so I went for a tulip sleeve and I have the cross in front and I put a little bit of a gather at the top of the shoulder, which gives it this like really cute girly shape. Like, I don't know how to describe it other than that. And like you just back up and it's just like so feminine. I only have the zipper left to do, so I need to figure out how to do that on my treadle, and then I'll sew up the center back seam and do the hem. I'm like really obsessed with this dress. It's turning out a lot cuter than I thought it would be, because I originally thought like, oh well, this is gonna be a fun fabric, it'll be a fun dress like my Star Wars dress, but this might end up being one of my favorites. So this is a problem that I have with putting in the zipper. This is a foot that came with the treadle, just a regular straight stitch foot, but the knob that holds it is in the back, whereas on my modern machine as well as my antique electric, it's on the side. Like you can see how it's right there. So I can't just switch out for my modern presser foot, because then it would be like anchored on the side and that wouldn't help anything. So I'm gonna have to play with this one and see how that goes. I think I know how I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep the zipper teeth lined up with this little part of the presser foot so I can sew right along the edge. Let's see if this works. That's gonna require a lot of fussing. I'm not willing to do that level of fussing. We'll just run the presser foot right along the edge of the teeth. It'll all be fine. It'll be good. Remember when I said I wanted to make pieces for my wardrobe that just like elicited emotion, like gave me some sort of emotional reaction? I had the same feeling to putting on this dress that I did the princess dress. I just feel so cute in it. I feel like I'm achieving like my peak form in like dressing how I always wanted to dress, and it's very girly. And for someone who spent the majority of her life convinced she was a tomboy, this is really surprising. The link to this pattern and other ways to support my channel are down in the description. I will see you on Monday for a new video and live on Thursday. Bye, friends!